At LiveAction, we are here to help you identify and solve voice and video issues fast. Why? Because we know that the quality of your calls are important to your business, but you also have a million other things to do, so MTTR, or mean time to resolution, is critical. So let's get down to it and do some troubleshooting. But to troubleshoot, you have to know there is a problem first, and there are typically two ways this happens. One way is that you get a call from an unhappy user. In this case, the problem has already affected the business, but it is not too late to fix it. So you get the necessary information from the user, like the time range and the IP address, and you do a forensic search manually. For example, here I am looking at the UI known as LiveAction OmniPeak for a LiveWire appliance. I can select a time range. I can click the forensic search. It's got the time range that the user said the problem happened in. Maybe the user will give me an IP address. I can enter that IP address here, and then I can select which analysis I'm looking for, and I go ahead and hit start. And the forensic search will begin, and I end up with, well, quite a few calls. Now, maybe the user would have given me a specific IP address in which it would narrow it down. But in either case, here I am looking at all of the calls with all the packets and all the analysis. That's one way. The other way is to use the LiveAction monitoring tool to see the whole network and to get your alerts proactively and possibly even before it is reported. In this case, the LiveAction alert can be used to perform the forensic search for you. So here I am in LiveAction monitoring my whole network by having the LiveWire appliances capture the packets, analyze them, and send IPFix up to LiveAction so I can see everything that's going on in my network, including the alerts that are coming from the various devices telling me what's wrong with the network. So I don't have to figure it out. It's telling me, hey, these are problems with your network. For example, here is an alert for a voice and video issue of jitter of 200 milliseconds. So I click on that and I can see certain information about that, including the jitter, which is average at 200 milliseconds. That's above my threshold of 30 milliseconds. And I now know that I want to troubleshoot that. It matches the criteria of the user that called me, let me know, or I discovered this before the user even gave the call. So I'm provided with this peak button in which I can just use to workflow from the high-level monitoring over to the workflow, over to the packets themselves. So by clicking the peak button, I will now get a forensic search dialog that is completely filled out with the time range, with the filter for the call, and I can just go ahead and run that. And here I am in my forensic search. All the work's done, and yep, we've got ourselves a bad call. You can see that right off the bat. And I'm provided now with many tools, analysis that I can use to start troubleshooting the call. But in either case, whether the user called or whether you used LiveAction, you end up in LiveWire with the analysis that you need to troubleshoot the call. So first, let's look at the call from the highest level voice and video dashboard. You already can see it's a bad call. We also have call quality by codec, call volume by codec, call utilization compared to overall network utilization. So, we can already get a feel for the call, and not just the call itself, but the call over time. In this case, there's a number of possible issues. So let's go ahead and look at the flows view. And the flows view, we can see that the expert system has identified low MOS CQ, RTP not marked for QoS. These are a few of the experts out of over 100 different experts built into the solution that will lead you to the problem. So first you saw an issue at a high level, giving you an alert based on IP fix. Now we've drilled down, we've reanalyzed the packets, and we can see many different problems. And we can use these to correlate with other analysis in the application. And that's what we do by going to the flow visualizer. We can see for this call, for the individual transactions, we have RTP not marked for QoS. Here's a transaction or a packet where we've got RTP excessive packet loss detected. And that's why we have the built-in flow visualizer, where we can see these transactions in a ladder diagram correlated with the expert events, where at any point in time we can go to the associated packet like this. Go to the packets. Now we're looking at the packets. We're looking at the decodes. Again, the experts correlated with the packets. So this allows us to go up and down, back and forth from the high level view to the low level details as quickly as possible in order to solve your voice and video issues fast.